Another cable messed up, but I got it to where if I there we go. Easy, cowgirl. Hoo hoo hoo. So yeah, where do we start? There was a plastic cover that covered all this when I bought it, so I couldn't see the underside. Of course, there was this thin insulation and that plastic thing that covered all of this, so I couldn't see none of that. Now over there behind the driver's seat's in really good condition. I mean, it's like it's brand new. But on this side, of course, it's seen better days. And I did not know that was there, or I probably would have passed. The stuff on the ceiling really isn't that much of a big deal. It's easily removed and touched up with some primer to put a stop to that. The wall over there looks in really good condition. This wall, it's not that bad. It's not that bad at all. For the year, the elements, you can tell, you know, these pool cleaning companies, is my suspicion, my theory, is that they hired an 18-year-old kid to go around servicing pools. And, you know, 18-year-old kids aren't responsible whatsoever. And, yeah, didn't clean up his mess. Was very careless with the chemicals. So I removed the plastic piece, got a wire brush to drill motor. This was completely caked on. I couldn't probably spent an hour with the drill motor and a wire brush cleaning up all this, and I'm still not done. So we got to get down to the bottom of that rust and stop it. Stop it completely. And of course I got some work to the bed here. I'm going to end up putting some kind of coating. Maybe I'm thinking just probably a sheet of fiberglass, to be honest with you. Get with all the rust as down as deep as I possibly can and build up my own little fiberglass shell on top of these little patches of rust. Still to be determined, though. Where do I want to start? This cabinet right here was along the, you know, these two shelves here went along the wall back here, and this is where it started it, and it was bolted down off of that particle board entertainment bar that somebody put out at the curb. Had these caster wheels, brand new caster wheels, ball bearing caster wheels. So I put some more cabinet wood, screwed it in, and actually this cabinet was upside down. This part was the top, and as you can see how it gets rustier and rustier and rustier. Well, that's because this was the bottom that was screwed in, and whatever they had in there, Lord knows. But there are shelves that can be moved, so I opted, you know, with it the other way. As I was driving down the road, gravity would literally pull this open, and the door would swing open. The handle's riveted in. I don't have a rivet machine. The handle's riveted in, and it would just literally just fall open. So instead of installing the handle the right way, I decided to flip it, so that way as you're driving down the road, gravity's going to pull it this way. And if I already got it locked and shut, gravity's going to keep it that way as it bounces down the road. So again, rust. Got some work on it. So I was, instead of the front area did not come with a door. Oh, I gotta put the seats forward. So when I go into the back, area, I'm going to use that cabinet as my door. So while I'm driving, of course, the cabinet will be flush. I'll have some file hanging, like manila folders, 2 of them, where I can put paperwork so it looks like work van business. Clipboard. But at night, I'll move the seats up. Move the seats up, and then I'll be able to slide my storage in flush. It then acts as a door to the front. It looks like a business to the back. That's additional storage for you, do-re-mi. I'm going to eventually get some latches for this side that will go through and stick right here. Another latch on this side. Another latch on this side. You know, those sliding locks where you slide it in and it deadbolts, kind of like a little mini deadbolt. So it'll go into there, go into here, keep it from tipping over while it's in this position. And then I'll have another set of those same locks on the cab side, so when I pull it back so I can slide the seats back again, you can latch it from the other side to keep it from teetering back and forth. I got this gap. Well, I'm going to have a floor which is going to raise that up higher. We'll have the 5/8 thick floor, which will bring it up, you know, roughly about 1 inch from that, probably 1.5 inches. Then we'll have a laminate hardwood looking floor on top of that, which will raise it up about another 3/8 to 1/2 inch. So this gap will be closed. This piece of wood with pleather, I was trying to create a spacer to block out the light. It's padded. Went with that bar out there. I'm not too sure if I'm going to keep it or not. This side. So I'm still on the drawing board of what I'm going to do to seal that up. Probably put some of that weather stripping that goes around the doors. I'm probably going to do the same thing, just put weather stripping on this frame up and around the side, so when it slides in back and forth, it'll still block out all the light. Yeah, I thought that was a slick repurposed unit for my door, because these barriers did not come with that. So yeah, you won't, from the cab side, you will not see any of the shelves at all. It'll be one solid wall from ceiling to bottom, siliconed all the way around the sides. The wires, of course, will be drilled through it, but it'll be all siliconed up, airtight. I plan on my fantastic fan will be going right here in the center. Right here in the back side. Plan on putting my sink right here. And water jugs. $1 gets them refilled. So that's going to be a cheap one. Thinking one jug here, one jug here. That'll be how far my cabinet comes out. So we'll have 3 jugs of water, and then the last jug will be my gray tank. So as I'm sucking out water from each jug, which will give me a total of 15 gallons of water, this one will be my gray tank that'll be underneath the sink that will catch the water, and I empty it. You know, as I notice I run through 1 5-gallon jug of water, is going to tell me that my gray water tank is full. and it needs to be dumped before I pull my pump out and put it in the next 5-gallon jug. And the plans for a Coleman stove will be up here. Be kind of like what I call a Murphy stove, where the actual Coleman stove will fold up into the back of the cabinet, so we'll have access to the sink. And when I want to use the stove, it'll fold right down on top of the sink. And I'll get a cutting board to go over the top of the sink, and it'll just fold down like a Murphy bed Coleman stove, the 2-burner Coleman propane. Fold it right down. So if I'm out of propane hooked up to shore power, you know, I'll use a hot plate type with AC sink. I'm miss out on the sink deal. Let me go over here. Oh, he's got the, well, we'll lift it up over here. So when I said repurposed, I meant what I said. That kitchen stainless steel sink right there is going in that van. And not all of it is going in the van. I only need what I need, not what I want. Well, I would love to have a double sink in the van. There's obviously no room for 2 sinks. So I am gonna have debated this and debated it over and over again, and I have no other choice but to chop it up with the grinder. Just gonna, remove the faucet here and go right along this leading edge. So along this leading edge, straight down across, I'm gonna take this side, discard this side. So this will end up being my sink. This side here, I still will have 2 holes. One hole will be for, right now it has the normal sprayer, which I'm going to probably use. Probably it looks pretty good. Who knows if it works or not. But that's going to actually be my faucet and my shower head. So I'm going to move it from this hole over to this hole. I'm going to move this on and off switch for the cold water and hot water from here over to here. So that way when I cut it down here, this hole will be useless. The only holes that'll work, this handle for the on and off will go here. This is my shower head and will be moved to here. So, yeah, that's going to be my sink. Back inside to the sink. So I covered the sink part. So those handles, the on and off is going to be this way. So where the backsplash normally would be, you would have your faucet coming out here. It'll be along this wall. The faucet will come out here. The edge that I cut will be over there. The clean edge of the stainless steel will be on this side. So yeah, I'll have the shower head slash hose. It's it's your little hose for the dishes that will double for a shower head. Then I'll be able to extend the shower head, of course, nozzle up high and position it high so I can get me a little small shower right freaking here in this little nice convenient spot. That's going to be probably one of the last things of the build, is how to make the shower and all the different options you have to make that shower, which I have debated and deliberated on many times before. And now that'll be another video. Moving on. So if I painted that, I hope I painted a real good picture for you guys so you can see the sink, what my intentions are. We got our two gray water tanks, 10 gallons of gray water. Over here, elaborate some more on these two water tanks that'll be over here. One water tank will be my cold water, and the other tank will be the hot water. So how I intend to do that is the idea is, I don't know if you guys have searched on YouTube online, you'll find a solar or an instant hot water heater that you put on your campfire, or you put it on a stove, and it's a little aluminum spiral that has an inlet, and it spirals the water around and then it comes back out. So you can place it on an open campfire and it'll transfer cold water and make hot water. So my intentions are to make my hot water is to use that device. I can't remember what it's called to save my life right now, but when I edit this video out, I'll put over the screen what it's called and a link to where to go get it. But anyhow, it'll sit there while I'm cooking every night. The heat from the flames will be cooking my food on my pot, but it'll also, using the same heat, will also heat my hot water. So while I'm cooking my food, I'll also be heating my hot water, sucking it out of the cold tank into the spiral while I'm cooking, and then it'll fall into my hot water tank. And I might have that backwards. I'll put my hot water tank in the very back, and then the cold water will be right here. So there will be a submersible pump that goes into the bottom of each container, so that way it could be easily lifted out. But yeah, that's how I'm going to make my hot water, and use the best out of the propane, because if I'm going to use the propane to cook, I gotta be able to use that same heat that's being lost and incorporate it somewhere else. So I see a lot of guys cooking in your vans, and which is a great thing. I'm going to do it. No shame in that. But getting the most bang for your buck is my idea. So yeah, that's how I'm going to get my free hot water.
Fill one of the bags with clean water. Press out the air, then roll the top of the bag 3 or 4 times and buckle. Hang the filled bag so that the bottom is 30 to 36 inches above the ground. Unpack and straighten out the heating coil assembly. Flatten out and close up the empty bag. Remove the black purge valve from the rubber tube at the base of the bag on the ground and insert the thermostat port into the tube. Set your desired temperature on the thermostat. Connect the blue supply tube barb to the elevated bag. To prevent water from spilling, pinch the tube while removing the purge valve and connect the supply tube. Immediately, a small amount of water will begin to flow through the heating coil and purge out any air from the system. Now place the heating coil on top of a lighted stove with the heat deflector in the center of the coil. Insert the Y-stand into the ground to support the tube jacket. When heating with a stove, the orientation of the heating coil must be in a dish-up position. Remember, it's important to only apply heat to the coil while water is flowing through the system. The heating process will take about 15 minutes, depending on the initial and desired water temperature, as well as the stove output. When the water level of the filled bag is just about down to its drain port, remove the coil from the heat. Be careful not to directly touch any of the heated parts. Disconnect the thermostat from the heated water bag and attach the shower head assembly by inserting the barb into the tube on the bag. Now the heated water bag can be hung up and used just like a solar shower.
Then the cabinet should come out all the way to, plans are from the ceiling to run one solid sheet of wood here, so you cannot see on the other side. You won't be able to see through that glass, and it'll be a complete solid cabinet. that will contain various items. Refrigerator will obviously have to go right here. And then on this leading edge wall, I plan on putting I don't know, probably 4 inches of pantry where that door, it'll come out another 4 inches, or no, it'll be as wide as this guy is what it'll actually be. From this space, this wide will come to roughly right about here. And then if I want to slide this, I can put it right there to block the view, or leave it in this place. Yeah, so I can block the view, move it from here to there to block the view and seal it off. And then I'll have the cab open, the walkway for the cab to be open, or I'll leave it in this position, and then there will be a piano hinge where my pantry will open up, and well, it'll open up like that, and then I'll keep it closed, and then we'll have little shelves with my pantry items, and it'll serve a dual purpose. When it's closed, have my fire extinguisher on it, or while the walkway's open, I guess you'll see the fire extinguisher and a first aid kit. So when it's swung open this way, the fire extinguisher and first aid kit will be on the outside. So if any passersby walk by and see, they'll see, again, business. I don't know if I painted a good picture on that, but you'll see it in future videos. That's the plans for that side. Brief synopsis. My plan is for on that cooker is to have a small dryer vent that'll come up to the Fantastic fan to suck a lot of that humidity from cooking and blow it out the top of the Fantastic fan. To prevent stuff like this, the rust, the cooking smell inside the van. It's not going to eliminate it totally, but it will help. And then for this side over here, as I switch it up from point A here to there is 6 foot 6 inches. I am 6'4", so that's going to be the bed. These drawers came out of a dumpster. Perfect, wonderful. I mean, these are awesome, expensive drawers that they messed up the design. A customer changed their mind, wrong size. You know, who knows why they put them in a dumpster, but I need them. So the design in my head will be one long solid Murphy bed. Kind of like it'll be a cross between a Murphy bed and a futon bed, to where while I'm working it'll be all up in enclosed position. You won't be able to tell, and then it will fold down. 2 sections. Well, there'll actually be 3 sections because this isn't long enough. But it will fold down and open up into like a futon couch, which will be enough for me, myself, and I. From top to bottom, I'll be able to stretch out and sleep comfortably. And if I have guests, my children, or anybody else that I end up entertaining that sleeps with me, then we'll be able to pull out, slide it out, make the back cushion drop down to become the bed. So it'll eat up all the additional space in the van to sleep too. But for all intensive purposes, it'll most of the time just be a couch. And then when I'm done, it'll fold up, open up the area for work area, and will be one solid cabinet.
in a room, there'd be enough room for 2 children to do their homework. And a mom or dad to sit in between them and help them. The desk, everything stays on the desk. It just lifts up. It's on a hydraulic mechanism, and then down comes your bed. Everything works with the fingertips. And a complete ease of operation and a total and sensible use of space.
The Slim model offers a practical and budget option where funds and space are very limited and is a great choice for situations where the bed needs to be built in, such as on boats or recreational vehicles. The mechanism that allows the study bed to operate in such a clever way is actually very simple and reliable and comes with a 5-year guarantee.
Why am I doing it this way and not doing it another way? Well, I wanted to show how you can do it with literally nothing. And there isn't a couple things. There isn't a right way. There isn't a wrong way. This is my way.
La la doo dee do, dee oh, la la doo dee oh.